Anyways, I am in a neon pop collar polo with some thick plastic framed glasses because we are living in 2008 and 2010. Yeah.
You are ready. You are ready to go back there. I'm not. No, I am. Very excited for this discussion. I'm wearing my. It's a tiger for Roar. That's my nod and homage to, Catherine Hudson. As I don't know her that way. I don't know her like that. Me and Stephanie went back, but Catherine went to the other school. So
a Christian school. Anyways. Guys,
I'm wearing this cross so she feels comfortable also. So
I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay.
Alright guys, if you didn't guess, today on Gay2K we're tackling Katy Perry, the good, the bad, and the outer space of it all. I'm Sarah, and I'm joined by John Paul.
That's me.
Okay, let's get into Katy Hudson. Not to be confused with Kate Hudson.
And that was a problem back in the day. Like, we were really concerned that there might be two Kate Hudsonsons running around in Hollywood. So clarify.
As a Sarah Thomas, I can relate to the problem of having a name that other people might share. I knew that I would never be able to be a famous Sarah Thomas. There's already some model walking around with that name, right? So,
oh my god, I remember. So if we're talking about high school projects, because Miss Katy Hudson, that was her first album. It was like a high school album.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being like something we created in high school? Which is there's things out there that people are like, oh man, they really didn't know what they were doing. Yeah, we were kids. What are you doing this over my head forever? But for Katy Perry, we do apparently. Yeah. So
I mean, I don't know. I've never listened to her gospel album that she made when she was 16, so I can't say that I'm
16. I can't
2001 and 16. She was Katy Hudson then, and she made a gospel Christian album. She really wanted to be the next Amy Grant, apparently, and it didn't work out. I'm sorry, I have to change back to my actual current prescription. This is not working out. Hold on. I brought them because I knew it wouldn't last.
This is where we can put in the theme song.
Oh, okay. My eyes can actually see. I mean, you're right. Like, what was Katy doing as a high schooler, and what were we doing at around the same time? Because we are pretty much her age. She might be like a year older than us.
She was born in the great year 1984. That book is about her and what she brought to this country, I guess. I don't know. But no, what I as I was doing my deep dive, because if I'm gonna talk shit about people, I make sure to do my research. And Katy Perry grew up in California, extremely Christian gospel. Like, she was not allowed to even say the word deviled eggs because that was satanic. And so but girl loved to sing, right? And so at that, if you grew up in her world, what would you do besides release a gospel album, which she did at 16? Mind you, she graduated. No, not graduated. She got her GED her freshman year at 15, and she was out. She was like, I'm done. I gotta go make music. And somehow, for someone who had so overprotective parents and that they couldn't, say deviled eggs, why was you letting her just
right?
leave?
Yes.
So to me, that's looking as you start looking at the person that became Katy Perry, a lot of things begin to, for me, make sense. Where I'm like, oh, this was a child that was kind of just let loose because they were talented, right? So it's just I think if you were a kid, it's oh well, she can sing and she can kind of write some songs, so let's send her to Hollywood. That for some reason, there was evil force in the world, but they weren't in Hollywood, I guess. That's what I don't understand about how we got here.
Right. And I don't understand it either, because I mean, there's some missing years and some details that are missing, but it's just like she reemerges as Katy Perry, and she says when she talks about it, she literally her words are she sold herself to the devil. Like, that's so like.
Well, I did some research. So, okay, so I have it mapped out. But yeah, no, and I think that's. Was she telling the truth? Maybe. Is it real? I don't know. But I think that kind of just like points to the person that she is, in that, I think if you grow up with this, really strict, religion, of course the devil is real. And of course I could ask him for what I want because I was told my entire life not to. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask him.
Right.
Granted,
and who knows if that's hyperbole or, I mean, we don't know. We're not just inside her head.
She's just goofing around.
Right.
That's, but I do think that sometimes when you are a public figure and you say things and then your behaviors or the things that you do afterwards, it may not be real, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe you thought about it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you accidentally manifest the devil?
See, that's why I gotta wear this. I was like, I don't know. I don't know who Katy Perry's friends with right now.
Oh, God. Yeah.
No, and actually, in my research, I'm going to say this is not Ellen Part 3, the Katy Perry edition.
No.
There's no extreme goofiness. Like, there's, like, real, like, stuff that happens because she's a real human. She's a real woman in this world. So, just like her song. And so I can't, as I did my research, because I deep dived, I was like, wow, like, you're right. You were kind of put in a difficult position. What do you do? So
yeah.
I know. I as a hater, I'm kind of like, I'm a liker now. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. Oh my God, I hate that for us. No, okay. So the way that I approach this is like really just like trying to remember where I was and my mindset and my journey with Katy, and how many times I actually encountered her as problematic and was like, meh, whatever, it's fine. And like what that straw was. And I know exactly when the thing happened around 2014 that I was like, this is it. I am no longer a Katy Perry fan. And we'll talk about that. But like, so for me, do you have any Katy, before we go into my journey with Katy Perry, do you have any factoids of what happened between 2001 and the release of One of the Boys that you want to include in the narrative? Okay, yes. So then we'll get into discovery and personal journey. But yes, let's lay the facts on the table of how she went from Katy Hudson to
Katy
One
Perry.
of the Boys. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, yeah, definitely One of the Boys. Like we said, just growing up as extremely Christian and wanting to have a music career, recorded her first album at 16, left to LA at 17, right? So this is 2002. There she meets Glenn Ballard. And so Glenn Ballard is a very famous producer who produced Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Mm-hmm. So he is just like an icon in the industry. And somehow this teeny bopper girl gets to work with one of the best producers ever at the time. So that's great. He signs her to Java Records. She's kind of just like in the singer-songwriter experience. She works with a group called The Matrix, and they record like a studio album. So this album, The Matrix was writing songs for like Avril Lavigne at the time.
Avril Lavigne, Kelly Clarkson's Breakaway album. I think they did one of that. Yeah. Liz Phair's Why Can't I Breathe? Yeah, Matrix was a big deal.
They were definitely like Matrix, like rolled high school, and so and this was kind of like. This is the next big thing. We have the singer, Katy Perry, and she's, just helping out with this band. Like, she wasn't, like, officially in the band, because that's one of the things I was like, the band is really the three of us, but, like, you can sing our songs, but... And so it's, like, still, like, kind of disrespectful, but they didn't do anything with that project because they couldn't agree on what to do with it, clearly. And so then she's dropped by Java. So Glenn has to let her go from his record label. Mm-hmm. And then she goes to Columbia. She starts working on what would be called Fingerprints, her supposed to be first album. And it was around this time that she meets a man named Dr. Luke. So this is, 2007 era. And she's kind of just she's just working, and she's really reflecting on, well, why did I not have success as Katy Hudson? And so this was definitely, she's like, I gotta just be the complete opposite of that. I gotta say the things that I wasn't allowed to say, which I think is a very appropriate response. I think we've all been there, where it's like, oh, I've been repressed. Now I'm gonna say what I want. So no, that's why she's one of the boys, because she's talking like the boys,
I love that. And okay, so we'll delve into that album and the tracks on that album in just a second. But I do want to, so it's 2008 when I discovered Katy Perry, just like the rest of the world. And I was in what the people would now call fuckboy era, I think, a little bit. I had broken up with a long-term relationship. Was kind of talking to a girl, and then I went to Florida for a good chunk of the summer, and at a gay bar in Pensacola, girls are dancing to this song in the most obvious of ways, called I Kissed a Girl. And I was like, what the hell is this? And that bar was so, like, it was such a weird moment in time for me, because that bar was also, like, very, like, butch femme. Like, are you, like they did this weird stunt to me where they were like, we need all the butch women to come pick up the pool table because we need to move it 6 inches. And the, like, announcer on the radio at this bar was, like, standing over my shoulder. Like, we need all of the butch girls, like, basically, like, decide which side you're on. And, like, I know, because I'm 2008, I'm about to graduate, and I'm single at that moment, and I'm like, what is going on? Is this the adult world that I'm about to enter? But then I remember that song, and I, see the album at Target. I see this girl from that song on an album that said One of the Boys, and I instantly bought it, and then it was like I just took it everywhere with me the rest of that summer.
I was like, no, I Kissed a Girl was cataclysmic, I think, in just, as, we're coming of age here, so we're like 21, right? And so, and as, gay adults, it's like, well, okay, now I'm going into this world. Is it okay to be gay? We into that? And this song was just like, oh my gosh, like, now they're fetishizing it, And so, to have, like, mainstream people singing I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It that were girls, like, just even playing with, like, gay, like, thoughts, I thought was so progressive. Well,
and I think too, like, for me at the time, and when I think about it, like, I had kissed so many girls that were that girl that was singing in that song, like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
And so it's just a thing, and it's I didn't have, like, some people are like, oh my god, and I'm like, I mean, but that's somebody's actual experience. So that song never really bothered me in the way that I know that it bothers people now, or has bothered people since. And I know that Katy Perry has made comments about it later that's like, she didn't understand bisexuality and all of those things. We'll get into those later.
Well, yeah, no, because I think this song, like, I don't think Katy Perry was, like, trying to be out here to, like, be part of gay community, but that song purely gay community.
Yeah.
I think, like, you had no choice. Like, oh, you're going to talk like that? Okay, well, then you're going to hang out with us.
Right.
I think that's where then, authenticity in music, like, were you being real about that? Because if you are, then we celebrate that. But if you are just wanting my gay dollars, I think that's where, for some people, there is this, like, we have to know what's your intention, which I'll get into, like, that doesn't matter, but yeah, no, this was 2008. Yeah, Katy Perry was, like, she was blooming. And
I don't know if I've told you this, but that fall, like, the college campus group, the QSA, the Queer Student Alliance, we debated whether or not Katy Perry was bad for the queer community, because Alex, when listening to the CD, like, we made it to You're So Gay, and I was like, she's just goofing on metrosexuality, and Alex was like, Yeah, Alex from Gay2K, our Alex, was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think this is cool.
Yeah.
So then we decided that we had to ask everybody that went to the queer group, and we like literally like made it a thing. We like printed out lyrics, and at the end of that discussion, we were like, yeah, it's bad, but there's worse, and we like the music. Like that was the queer group's consensus was like, it could be worse. And
and that just part of being gay is like, oh, there's this terrible thing, but actually I think it's okay if I like it. No, I remember when like, so I've always just been like a big music fiend, I'm always like looking for the next thing. And so Katy Perry like was just like on my radar because of You're So Gay, where she releases, because it was just like, what again, why are you using these words? Like, if you're going to use these words, you got to be about these words. Katy Perry really had her like big like push through Madonna, because Madonna was like on a radio station, she goes, I love that song, You're So Gay. And it's like, and I think Madonna like understood the provocativeness of it, where it was just like
analyzing stereotypes. Madonna was like, "Oh yeah, we got to break down stereotypes. That's what the song is about."
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna go that far. I think it's more like, "Oh, you said gay on the radio." I think I think that's but I think understanding that words, image, all like that pushes people. So shout out to Madonna for like kind of. Honestly, I think if Madonna did not just like give that immediate like just like touch of approval, like there is a world where like she again is just not seen. Like people just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like actually, we don't want you to talk about kissing girls. No, I Kissed a Girl, Hot and Cold. Those like that was like peak Glee era, right? So like this late.
So not quite. Glee started after. Glee is like 2009. So we have Katy Perry for like a whole year before Glee can get its hands on it, because I don't think they ever did I Kissed a Girl, and I think they would have.
Right. True. Fair.
But yeah, like it's that landscape, and we're in that era of 2008 where like pop and pop persona are blending. You see that, this is the I Am Sasha Fierce era. This is Gaga's coming up around this time too. And I think Katy Perry is not, in her mind, is a persona and not Katie Hudson. And I think we see that a little bit with the first album. She's writing and singing a song called I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It, but at that time she hadn't.
This era, she was definitely just kind of like finding herself and like being like really in like the alternative music scene. Like she started dating Traffic McCoy from Gym Class Heroes, touring with No Doubt. She was on the song with 303. And so I just remember being in college, and like I feel like there, as gay people, we sometimes get things from like, say, the left, and when I'm not being like politically ideologically, I'm like, things coming from this way where it's like, oh, my gay friends are showing this to me. I'm learning this through like non-mainstream sources. And then there's the right, which is like, oh, this is what like people and my peers are listening to. They're like from Colorado. This is what like kids who went to Catholic school are listening to. And that was like this Katy Perry. So Katy Perry was coming in from like a different angle, where it's like, oh, this chick on 303. Yeah, I like 303, Katy Perry. Vans Warped Tour, this world of just kind of like skater boy punk rock hop whatever, like, so
I like to call that era neon emo. It's emo, but it's like
Neomo.
It's like bright and bubbly, but also everybody is also still sad and indie rock at the same time. It's so funny.
Well, I think
I've seen all of those bands you named, by the way, I saw live at some point in time during that time. Gym Class Heroes and 303. Cobra Starships in that group of bands too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Ugh, God, I was that kid.
I mean, like, who was it? Like, I think that was, especially for gay kids, I think we didn't have, like, bad romance just yet, so this is towards the tail end of, like, the first decade, and this is actually, like, most uncomfortable stage, where I'm just like, actually, I don't know, I really don't like this, this isn't, like, I was never, like, a diehard Katy Perry fan. I was like, if this is as good as it gets, this is as good as it gets,
Yeah. I mean, 2008 me was like, Katy Perry's, so hot. So I think that's a huge part of it. Like, I think I think to look over the market that was marketed, there is this attractive woman, and she's, even though the video is very much from the male gaze, I Kissed a Girl is still about kissing girls, and she's a very attractive woman, and I think that definitely made the lesbians, love her or respect her or want to talk about her.
And I think it was, was it written for the lesbians in mind? I don't think so, but I think that it doesn't matter. I think that, like, the community deserves to have a fun party song. And so, like, I think for kind of like my thesis when it comes to Katy Perry is that sometimes it's just entertainment and it's not fine art, and that's okay, because I think music can just, be for a time, it's not like I'm co-signing this for the rest of my life. I'm like, no, I danced to this at the club and it was great. End of story,
I mean, yeah, I love Hot and Cold. I know it's produced by Dr. Luke. I try not to listen to things, like I try to draw like a moral line sometimes, but that song is a bop still. It's a fun song. It really, really holds up.
I mean, yeah, like it's in the archives. It's like, I'm like, I Kissed a Girl, Hot and Cold. What's the other ones from that?
I mean, those are the two big singles. There was, the other single was Waking Up in Vegas.
Okay.
And that was like the lesser of the three.
Well, those songs were just such big hits that, like, they dominated the entire year. So it's, I Kissed a Girl was like the song of the year. You couldn't escape it. And then Hot and Cold was like, a follow-up that was, I was like, oh, she's not just a one-trick pony.
And then we get into Teenage Dream, which is a huge album. I don't even, like, you can't even quantify Teenage Dream. I mean, you can say it's almost as big as Michael Jackson's Bad, because it had 5 #1 singles, just like Michael Jackson's Bad album.
Oh yeah, I think we can. I think it's up there. It's and because it sold, like, people bought it. It was everywhere, and this was around the time that she met Russell Brand right before Teenage Dream, and so I think this album really just encapsulates, Katy Perry at her highest, most ascendant stage. That, like, I don't think if we look at her now, I'm like, will she get back to there? I don't think so, because Teenage Dream was so big and so, like, of the zeitgeist that, she should be so happy you did it. Like, she worked with Glenn Ballard for Jagged Little Pill, one of the biggest albums of all time, and then you create Teenage Dream, one of the biggest albums of all time. Like, hang your hat on that, sister. Like, you're good.
Russell Brand should have been another red flag. Like, the dude is weird and has always been weird, and is now, like, super, sober and Christian, and you can ignore some of the there were allegations while they were together. There were allegations before they were together about SA stuff against this guy. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, was she a victim of him? Possibly. Like, was he manipulative? Sure. But yeah, like, her involvement with him, it's like another one of those points where it's like, oof, oh, Katy, not a choice we want you to be making, Katy.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to look back on it, because I do think that at that time, like, we didn't know, like, Russell Brand was also, like, just everywhere. He was kind of just seen as, like, this, British import that was just inflicted upon this nation. And I just remember, like, especially with, like, because she was hosting, like, the VMAs at this point, like, she was, like, involved in, like, just, like, the publicity scene of it all, and I thought I think we were cheering for them as it was happening. It was like, oh my god, they're flirting at this show, look at them, like, they were like a real in real time, like meet cute happening. And so, yeah, like I don't know where I didn't like go too in depth, because I think when it comes to like relationships, I'm like, I can't ever want to tell. I don't know what's going on there. Like, and that's kind of like maybe where me and Katie have similar viewpoints, because she often feels the same way about where it's like, oh, whatever happens between two people, that's for them, And I think that's kind of what, Katy Perry's always been about. Well, like, what's your authenticity? What do you really stand for? But I digress. Russell Brand, it was a short marriage.
Yeah.
It didn't last long.
Like 14 months or something?
And he just dumped her via text. Right?
Yes, I did watch the documentary that I saw that on the screen, which is crazy. It's like, and then she just goes on and performs the whole show because
she's a professional.
Because she's a professional.
Well, yeah, I think that just points to I think for me that's obviously was, oh, this guy is bad news, because who would do that to someone they're married to? So I think very clear that his character is compromised. So, but you can't take away her 5 number ones. No,
and they're all good, even though the videos are incredibly weird.
Okay, California Girls. Yeah, that was because we had I Kissed a Girl. Yeah, I Kissed a Girl Summer, and then it was like immediately it was like, okay, now it's still Katy Perry Summer California Girls. Like that to me was like, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah. And that, have you seen that video? It's been a long time, but like I remember, I have a memory of like whipped cream shooting out of nipples. Is that a thing?
Yeah, like a bra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely this candy coated,
like a fembot situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she creates this like candy coated like visual and aesthetic that you come to find like I personally is she then like just like relies on that, because she's like, oh, I remember the candy video. This is and so
I'm all brightly colored and fun.
Yeah, you like whipped cream, like because like it worked the first time, but again, it's entertainment. It doesn't have to be fine art, but it was entertaining. Yeah.
So then we get the Glee pickup of the single Teenage Dream, and it catapults the song with the queer community because the cute queer character played by Darren Criss is singing it.
Okay, yeah. This is
there's
so much happening for gay rights.
2010, yep. 2010, it's blowing up. Fall of 2010.
And so that, I think also the other big song from that is Firework. So I don't know if you recall around this time, this was a big like anthem where like everyone was like, this is my gay anthem.
Because we all just felt like plastic bags drifting through the wind.
Well, absolutely. And so I was just doing some research. Yes, Katy Perry released Firework. That was October 26, 2010. And what other songs? Do you remember what other anthem songs from this era?
Yes, there was a whole let's put gay people in our music video thing. We have We Are Who We Are by Kesha, right?
Yes.
Born This Way wouldn't have happened yet, would it?
Born This Way came in February 11th, 2011. Okay. So Born This Way came after.
Born This Way is almost like a real answer to. Yeah. Anyways, but
okay. Go
ahead. Rihanna has "Te Amo," where she's making out with a girl in the video. Not necessarily a power anthem, but still leaning on that gay aesthetic that Katy Perry brought up with "I Kissed a Girl," right? God, I feel like there are so many other pop girlies who were Mean by Taylor Swift. There's that gay kid in the Mean Taylor Swift music video who's like just trying to read a magazine, and she's like, these guys making fun of the gay kid are mean.
Yeah. So the other song I will add is Kesha, We Are Who We Are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that came out October 22nd, 2010. And so I'm doing all this timeline things because, so Gaga is the biggest star in the world at this time. She just won all the VMAs in 2010. And this is where she's got her meat dress. She's talking to Cher. She's like, my next album is Born This Way. And she sings a
and so that would have been in September.
Yeah, it was in September. And so this was like, oh, Gaga's going full on gay pride anthem. So then what happens, right? Kesha releases We Are Who We Are, and she has said that this is for the gay people. This is an anthem. Like, she, very from the moment, was, like, explicitly, like, this is my love letter to you, you know. Firework comes out. No, man, it's just a song. It is literally just a song. It's nothing. It's based on a Jack Kerouac, like, poem. And then somehow we're putting Firework, we're like, oh yeah, because, you know, I think Kesha was on it. Like, she like, you know, even if Gaga was steering the ship that way, Kesha's like, okay, I agree. Let's get on the boat. You know, where I don't think Katy Perry was even thinking of that. I think it was more of her team was like, Firework, this is what you want, gay people.
Let's put two gay people kissing in the video, and now it's a gay anthem. Yep.
And so yeah, like I was surprised that Born This Way came out, like, you know, 4 or 5 months later, because in my mind they're so closely linked. But I really do think it was like, again, if Gaga is, you know, setting the stage for everything.
Oh, okay. Taylor Swift was late, of course. May of 2011. So
okay, yeah. Well,
but still, in that same it's the effect.
Well, I think late enough to prove that, like, she was not really, like, you know,
she wasn't there yet.
And, like, that's fine. She, like, you know, talking about my conversation earlier, where it's like, you know, my cultural influences are sometimes queer or they're mainstream. You know, Taylor Swift lived in the mainstream, so she was definitely like, you know, and that's okay. You know?
Yeah, like, especially it's fine. She was a country singer still then.
It's not a race to pander to gay people, I always say.
Yeah,
you know?
It shouldn't be.
Yeah. But no, I was just like, that's when I think about just, you know, queer identity in the 2K, like that 2010 like pop song anthem off, like that was big. And so that leads us, this domination of Teenage Dream through 2012 even.
Yeah. And it's such a big deal on Glee that even they go back to it. They go back, and the show Glee revisits Teenage Dream in a later season as a stripped down acoustic version by Darren Criss. Like, even Glee, whose job is to just sell albums, goes back and revisits this song, like in 2013 or something. It's so big. It's so big, and it's a cute little song. And the opening, like, I can hear that opening anywhere and just be like instantly like, oh yep.
Yeah, no, Teenage Dream, I'm going to give that album its roses, because I think that, you know, songs don't go to number one just because of, you know, payola. We can think like, oh, she's an industry plant. I think the general public has agreed that they like this, you know. So, yeah, the other singles from that, Teenage Dream, Last Friday Night. I remember when that came out.
Oh, my God. There was okay, yes, go ahead and
just say, like, I was
memories, yeah.
Because it was really big this time. It was like, is this woman gonna beat Michael Jackson's record? So that was kind of like, she had 4 number ones by that point, you know. And so it was like, Last Friday Night came out, and I remember enjoying it because I was like, she did it. I'm streaming. I'm gonna give her the numbers. And it was, I don't know, it was fun.
Dude,
and I was,
the campaign for that was nuts. The marketing campaign was crazy. She invented another persona, because this is the era of personas within personas. Beth Terry, I think, is that character's name. And Beth Terry was on, like, MySpace or Facebook or something. Like, there was, like, viral marketing before viral marketing was viral marketing. And it was just like, she had, I think it was a MySpace profile, because she had, like, things that she liked, and it was like Lisa Frank and, like, all of these things that were just, like, tugging at our heartstrings and nostalgia. And then the video is chock full of celebrity cameos, and Katy Perry is this persona. Beth Terry. Am I saying that right?
Oh, I have no idea.
And like the whole thing is this person, Beth Terry, who's not Katy Perry, has never had a party in her whole life, and it's just the craziest thing.
We could all relate to that. I've never had a party.
Kathy Beth Terry, that's her name.
Kathy Beth Terry, right? Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So Kathy has this wild party, and all of these celebrities show up, and it's a hilarious music video. I mean, that is the one thing that I will say for the late 09s, early 20 teens is like music videos were like a thing. And I think part of that is like YouTube was big again. And so we weren't watching them on MTV. We were watching them on our laptops or whatever. And I think that change really brought about a shift in how people marketed their albums, because singles were sold. People weren't going to record stores or Target or Walmart to pick up CDs at this point in time. You were buying them on Apple Music too, So I think having a hit single was a big deal in that era.
I think, just being of that age, I was, illegally downloading music as much as I could, because everything was digital now. So yeah, no, that's a bop. E.T., I forgot, was another one this era.
Yeah.
That was...
Is that about Russell Brand? It feels like it's about Russell Brand.
I don't think so. It could be, but Kanye West was on the right remix of that one. And so again, this was a big, like, I don't know, she was doing it. This was the most popular music at that time. And just also, I'd say the most interesting people making the music, because I think that being able to, granted it's, how many years ago now? 15. Of course people change, but I'm like, oh, these are all very interesting people that are interacting with each other and making music. And I don't think we've really had anything like that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that we could unpack a lot of things with the people that we've talked about, right? I mean, Kanye, right? There's a lot there about how he shaped our culture and how we watched his downfall too, right? So he's an interesting guy. We can come back and talk more about him, but yes, how important it was and how cool it was to have a Kanye feature. And now it's like, can you imagine if Sabrina Carpenter or Olivia Rodrigo were like, I've got this new track coming out and it's featuring Kanye West.
It would be the most interesting thing to happen right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it would. What? Yeah, people happen. Would be like, what?
I would tune in to be like, what's happening? That. That was teenage. So Russell Brand divorce happens in the midst of teenage dream. So from 2010 to 2012, Katy Perry is living her teenage dream, right? And then towards the end is when Russell Brand leaves her in 2011. So she's going through this whole cycle, right? And so the album that would be Prism was originally going to be really dark and moody and just kind of the teenage nightmare almost, But she decided that she didn't want to put that out there. Instead, she was actually feeling prismatic. She said I'm more than just this. And so 2013 we get Prism, which again, shout out to my hat Roar, her big single that came out. And this was as a Gaga Little Monster, this was the trenches. This was a hard time for us because Applause and Roar were constantly battling it out according to the Twitter gays, and Roar won out. Roar beat it. That's check the record books. Roar was one of the biggest songs of the year. It wasn't I think it went number one.
I can't stand the song Roar, and I don't think it has anything to do with the Gaga feud. I'm trying to think of what.
Because it was just her trying to be Firework Part 2 for me, where it's just here's another gay anthem, gay people, don't you love me? And I was like, nah, I don't. I'm okay. We're past anthem. Where it's like I don't need to like. I know you need to feel better about things, but I don't like.
Yeah, I get it. She needed to roar. That's like, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I have a memory about this song. Britney Spears's "You Better Work." Yeah, you better work, bitch. Came out around the same time, and I remember talking to somebody who was like, that song is just like vapid of any integrity, and it's just Britney Spears trying to get back in the scene and make money. But they were a Katy Perry fan, and I remember being like, are you kidding me? Like, you think Roar is like musically a better song than this? How? Like, what about it elevates it? Oh, it's about something. Is it?
Well, that goes to the whole like message over like song where our music needs to mean something, and if it doesn't mean anything, then it's bad music. And I don't agree with that, because like I don't think you can say the message of the song is what makes us like. That's how I felt. I was like, well, we're being force fed this because they think gay people need their like pride pill every couple years to keep going. I'm good. I got born this way. I need to go do some art pop, you know. But even then, we were having trouble. So like, it was tough times in the streets for the gay people of the world. But no, this is also Super Bowl. Like Left Shark, that gosh, I was just I was like, is this culture? I
did not rewatch the Super Bowl performance for this. I didn't need to. I actually did very little research for this, other than just like double checking some facts and actually listening to some of the songs again for the first time in like a decade or so.
I did a full-on research because I think she's just so interesting, in that I avoided. I was definitely like, I'm not paying attention to anything this person is doing. But there's also points where like I couldn't help it. Like, I remember the Super Bowl, the Left Shark. That was a meme, and it was just accidental. Again, I was just like, it's another like happy coincidence. Like, here's more money, Katy Perry. You know, like I think she can sometimes be at the right place at the right time.
The Floss Kid a few years later during the Swish Swish era. Like, that's just another incident of like, that has nothing to do with Katy Perry, other than somebody on her team suggested this thing, right? Like,
like, I mean, even if we, kind of like, thread that needle, I was definitely thinking that, because I think Witness, that, the Flossing Kid is basically like, I'm Katy Perry and everything I like is great, and here you go, here's a meme for you. You want more memes? And so I think she definitely, understood meme culture, but I don't think knew what it was. I think that's a disconnect. Is she knows the power of the memography, but that, like, the intention behind it, like, you can become the meme, but you can't generate the meme at will,
Right. That's such a good point. There are so many Katy Perry memes that come up later where she is obviously not trying to generate it, and she very much becomes the meme.
You can't take away like her, talent, but Super Bowl, Left Shark, this era, 2013 to like up to Witness, like, she does take some time and like just chills. But then you find out what she was really doing behind the scenes.
Yep. Yeah. We're going to save that whole conversation about that to the end. That's going to be our part 2. We'll dive into that. Yeah. Because there's a lot to talk about and unpack, and not just with Katy Perry, but with the industry in general related to Dr. Luke and the 2014 court cases.
I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about the nuns. See?
Oh my God, the nuns! Did that start in 2014 or 2016?
Yeah, no, I think they fit together. So I think that can be a part 2.
Okay.
There's definitely like.
So we will talk about how she intentionally unhoused nuns.
Man. Yeah, no, this is the part 2. No trigger warnings on this one because it's there's a lot. So
there's a lot. We will get into that. But yeah, so while the mainstream culture isn't talking about it, she's doing some things that are not what her fans would probably be happy with, but we don't discover a lot of that until later. I think that's the way that we can talk about that right now. Like, we don't know exactly what she's doing, or at least it's not super evident to the general public and to the average American that isn't like a stan. They're definitely not following it, because I had no idea. I learned about things a little bit later. Now we'll talk about those. But what the public did know about Witness is that Swish Swish was a diss track on the other American sweetheart, Taylor Swift. I almost forgot Taylor Swift's name. How dare I?
Are you okay? Oh my god. It's really interesting that album Witness comes around at this time, so just remember that, like, oh, you named your album Witness, okay. And I think she shaved her hair, not shaved her hair, she just cut her hair. And
I know. It's just a pixie, a short shaved on the sides pixie cut. Yeah,
because she was, definitely trying to, like, I'm not Katy Perry. I think she was trying to reject the persona that she had created and, be, Catherine Hudson again. And, but yeah, when it comes to Swish Swish, I think, kind of just, again, doing my deep research, she has said that, like, she kind of felt she needed to, like, have a response to, like, Katy Perry, and that was Swish Swish. And
because the Taylor Swift track was Bad Blood, right? Yeah. And that was a huge hit. I mean, it's also not a great song, but man, I don't know. I might need to cut that out. I'm sorry.
Dude, no, you can.
Sorry to my wife. I don't like the track Bad Blood. I don't know if she really loves it either, but we listen to it a lot, regardless.
I see her moving away. She's like leaving the house right behind you.
She's just backing up her stuff. How dare you?
But I actually, I liked Swish Swish, and so for me, I was like. 2017 was like, okay, Katy Perry, I respect you rejecting the persona, and I was giving her a shot, right? I really liked Chain to the Rhythm, but the public was not buying it anymore. It was definitely like, I was feeling sorry for this woman, because it just, again, like, she was on SNL and she's like, Backpack Kid, and I think we're like, okay, like that's enough. And then Bon Appetit, there was some controversy on SNL around that.
One of the performers that was a featured rapper, I don't remember who it was. Katy Perry had drag queens dancing in that number, or perhaps trans women. I'm not entirely sure. But the rapper that was the featured did not want to perform on stage. And so the Floss Kid flossed for like an eternity because they didn't know how to fill that gap. So he killed his own flossing career by just going on forever.
I think this was a moment where, like, Katy Perry, like, her values and beliefs have to, like, kind of come into play, where it's just like, well, like, who are you collaborating with? Because if you remember, if we go back to, like, our other divas, Gaga, she dropped a whole tour because the people thought the show was too gay, and here she's like, okay, well, let's just compromise. We can all win here. And so I think people were like, again, like, what are you about? Like, I think people, both sides of the argument, like, have respect for people that are just, like, strong in their convictions. So she could have been like, get off my stage, and that would have, like, I think everyone would have been happy, but you just see, someone that, wants to stand on business, like, just fold so easily to things. And granted, I don't know the full things of this, and not like she, didn't, like, apologize or address it. But I think in the moment, like, to see this compromise in a way was disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an awkward moment in LGBTQ history. It's one of those, you're staring at this and you're like, okay, kitty. But yeah, so the floss kid just keeps flossing for the rest of eternity. He's still flossing somewhere.
Let's hope so. And that was, the band was Migos. And so they were just like, again, I think Katy Perry was like, I'm just like, whoever's it is with me. Like, I think she was like, well, I did sound with Kanye, so I gotta do it with them. Like, I don't think she was like actually like crafting relationships as much as just like, you know, filling in slots. Was like, Backpack Kid, Migos, 2017, you know, like.
Yeah, okay. So at this time, she's not working with Dr. Luke, though. Like, that relationship professionally is on Witness. Severed for the time being. And she is, we talked about it, she's trying to buck the system. Chained to the Rhythm is all about, you know, how we are chained to pop culture. And she's, trying to break out of that. But you're right. Like, why is it? You know, that's a deep question. Why doesn't it seem authentic from Katy? Why doesn't her audience and America buy it? And I just don't think it's authentic. I genuinely think it's not authentic. I think she was like, maybe this will sell. You know, I think we go back to Katy Hudson and becoming Katy Perry and selling her soul to the devil and doing whatever it literally whatever it takes to become a pop sensation. And I think she's just constantly moving to the next thing, to be the biggest thing, to do the thing first.
I think that authenticity, like, even if, say, you know, this was her shedding Catherine Hudson or becoming Catherine Hudson again, like, we don't know that girl. Like, so you can't introduce us to someone that you've never shown us and act like that we should know who you are. And so I think that really, those are the traps of, like, you know, fame when you want to stand on this business, when you're going to tell me Firework is a gay pride anthem, I need to play that every year at Pride. and then you go ahead and compromise on this drag queen stuff on SNL. I don't know. Like, you know, that's just, you know, one of the instances. And, it was around this time but she was really trying to be vulnerable, and that's kind of like where I have to give her credit, because she did like the Katy Perry live stream where it was her like living in a house, and the thing is, I think where people had a problem with it was supposed to be just like, just watch me live in my house, I'm gonna eat my cereal and just like be myself, but it was instead her hanging out with her celebrity friends, like, Gordon Ramsay, come over and cook me dinner, like. You know, like, it's again, it's just like, it's well, that's like we could do a whole separate deep dive of when influence culture started and how celebrities were trying to be a part of that movement but missing the mark, because they forgot that the whole point of an influencer was to show people that, like, this is what a normal person could do, and this is how they can take off and live the life, and that you have to sell the normalcy of the person. And Katy Perry is not the only celebrity that struggled in this attempt, for sure, but it is a pretty noteworthy struggle. And I think it's, unfortunately, was just since it was also tied to like releasing an album, so I think the consumers are very aware of like why artists are doing certain things, and you know, if one is to benefit the other, sometimes people just, it's like like, I don't want to like have to watch you be, you know, cooking with Gordon Ramsay so then I go buy your album and I think you're inauthentic, where I'm just like, if she was just like, it's just like camera of her sleeping, you know, doing nothing, just relaxing, I think that, like, you know, would resonate more. Like, let us witness who you really are and not the celebrity, because no one wants to witness that. Like, I think sometimes, like, you know, you can tell when a celebrity is so far gone when they just don't understand it. Like,
right, you absolutely.
Watch me hanging out with James Corden. You don't want to watch like me and my friend James Corden hang out. Like, no, I don't want to. Like, I'll go. I have friends myself. You know. Yeah,
for sure. So when does Orlando Bloom happen?
That is around, I think, my notes, like 20, like around this time, isn't it? Like, this is, you know,
they might not be officially, they're not married yet, I don't think, but
so this is definitely like, so we have our little Katy Hudson. Katy Hudson's back, but she's living in Katy Perry's body. So it's like, if you're gonna be this authentic person, take me to like the gospel, take me to your churches, take me. I want to see what like those angeled eggs that your mom made you call them, you know. But instead, she's like, no, like, I'm really me, but I still got this Katy Perry Ferrari, and now I'm dating Orlando Bloom. So, you know, it's her story. It's true. That is like, that's who she is. But you know, if you want me to buy your product, you want me to connect with your art, those are incoherent to me, so yeah, they have a daughter even. I was like, what? I didn't know.
I think Daisy Bloom is the cutest name ever. That she's born around the same time Maggie is, so
yeah, 2020.
Sorry. So I think I will always have an affinity for COVID babies, pandemic babies, shut-in babies. I know the struggles that it is to mother during that time and how easy it is to feel the world falling apart and thinking like, oh well, the only thing I can do is raise this kid. So I get that era of, and I think I went back to rooting for her because of that around this time. I'm like, I kind of see her going back to trying to ground herself a little bit. But I still wasn't digging the music. I could support her as a person, but I wasn't like,
and that's,
I could be happy for her as a person, I should say. Be like, I'm glad you're living, the life that you want, and you're happy, and you have an adorable child. Like, that's great. But I still didn't like her as an artist.
Well, absolutely. I think that's what people the reviews were like, this songs just aren't good. And, unfortunately, as we see, she ends up working again with Dr. Luke. Why? Because we're telling her music's not good, people.
The time it was good, the time it was the best is when she worked with this guy. Yep. Yeah,
and so Smile comes out in 2020, and I lost track of her. I wasn't paying attention. But then 2024, she's coming back with 143. Katy Perry,
which means what? What the hell does 143 mean? I don't.
It's I love you because I love you. Katie taught me that.
Good.
And she's like, and so this is where the biggest faux pas of her entire career is. So you're coming back. Not only are you going to work with Dr. Luke, and who we can, part 2 will kind of go through the whole thing and where that ended.
What you need to know for this is that he has been, there are allegations of sexual assault, and a lot of the industry, a lot of the other people that he had worked with had turned their back on him and refused to work with him at this point. And when she's making 143, almost everybody that had worked with him had denounced him and refused to work with him. But Katie, I think we need to, or maybe we'll save it for part 2. She has a very interesting response when directly asked about this on the podcast, Call Her Daddy. But what it boils down to is she wants to capture the vibe of what she was doing in 2010, and it was a part of her journey then, and he was a part of it. And that's her story on why she chose to work with him.
And I think there's a whole court case about it. So I think in 2023. It's, from what I know, it's over. They settled whatever. And so then I think there's some sort of in her mind anyway, the air is clear. I can go ahead and proceed with rehabilitating this man's career for him by releasing a song called Woman's World. We're all about, feminism and sisterhood, or, even though to me, it didn't feel sisterly, but I'm not a sister, so I don't know. But anyways, It was a little tone deaf just because it's it feels, I can understand how this would feel insulting. You're going to work with this person who just got out of this, decade-long, essay, trial. I think he doesnit need any more music. I don't think he can do it on his own. He can, good luck to that man. So that, and it was a flop. Floppiana. Nobody, it was a joke, that album.
Yep. Absolutely. It's not a good album either. I don't know. I don't know if maybe my ears are just over the sound that Dr. Luke peddled for, a decade or 2. But I don't even like the way it sounds, much less the messaging of what she's trying to bottle contrast to.
I will say I do like Lifetimes.
Okay.
Lifetimes is, I shouldn't be I shouldn't feel bad for saying I like a Katy Perry song.
Yeah, that's fine.
But at the same time, like, the public opinion of it. So it's like, it's not even me being like, this album was a joke. I'm like, no, this is like what everyone is saying, like in popular publications on the internet. Like, it's the butt of every joke. Why are people bagging on this person? Oh, okay, like, we just, you know, sometimes we don't like people, and that's, if you're a public star, like, people don't have to like you, you know.
Did she go to space before or after the release of 143?
It was in a promotion of, because otherwise, why would she do that?
Of course.
Like, so yeah, this is Katy Perry in space.
This is Katy Perry core right now. Rich people doing rich people shit for the sake of being rich. I think that's kind of her brand right now, and I don't know if it's in her intentional brand, but there are a lot of things that she has done that just kind of scream that. And going to space and the whole woman-led Blue Origin space drop is so weird. They don't even barely make it. They're like in the stratosphere. I mean, you can even debate if whether or not that's actual far enough out of the orbit to be considered astronauts. People do debate that. That was definitely debated on the internet.
Well, I think it's definitely like Katy Perry, you know, who was one of the boys and was, you know, down with the LGBT cause, is actually now an elite. And she's letting us know she's dating Justin Trudeau, you know, and that she was just at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Like, she and I think she's kind of like, I'm over it. I don't care. I am going to just, like, join a cabal now, everyone. You know? Yeah. Which, you know, much like her beginnings as a Christian upbringing, I don't blame her for looking for the comfort of a higher power, you know, whatever, you know.
I mean, the question is, did we push her there? No, but it is funny to think about, like, the fans just rejecting her enough that she's finally like, fine, you liberal leftists, I'm gonna go hang out with the elite.
Well, yeah, like you shared a video I watched, and like was like, Katy Perry can barely dance, she can barely sing, look at this terrible show, what is this garbage? And I'm like, what? Just like, let it be. Like, I don't think we need to like demonize this woman. Like, it's just entertainment. Like, I saw Katy Perry live, that's my true story, and I was entertained. It was so good. Like, she is a performer. She's like, it was quality. Like, I don't, like, do I think about this concert every day of my life? No, I don't need to. And so that's for me, it's the expectations of our pop stars that, like, they need to be gods. And if they're not a god, then we must sacrifice them. Or I'm like, this woman is just working, you know, like, let her just, like, 143, she's not going to be out here like, you know, Gaga or Beyonce, and that's fine.
Well, and that's when the capitalism of it, right? Because we can't shake capitalism, but we can decide what we spend our money on and who we support. If you like, don't listen to Katy Perry if you don't agree with her morals. Like, that is what we have the choice in, right? That's where our power is. If you really decide that her morals are enough to keep you from listening to the music, great. Let's not listen to her music. Like, it's that's the line that you can draw in this world. Is capitalism going to go away? We've talked about on this podcast. It's not. So if she wants to be a capitalist, then she's going to be a capitalist. Yeah.
Like, I think that message has been delivered, you know, like, these big things move slowly, but to think of, you know, Teenage Dream to 143, like, that's a downward slope. So,
for sure. Okay.
Good part one for Katy Perry.